One of the most puzzling things in leadership isn't how bad decisions get made. It's why people continue to defend them long after the evidence says they're wrong. This isn't about intelligence. Some of the smartest people you'll ever meet fall into this trap. What's really happening is human nature. Once a decision is made publicly, it starts to become tied to identity. The decision isn't just a choice anymore. It becomes my decision. And admitting it might be wrong begins to feel personal. For leaders, that can feel risky. So instead of reassessing, they double down. They invest more time, more resources, more explanations. Not because the decision is improving, but because reversing course feels worse than continuing forward. This is often explained as the sunk cost problem. But in leadership, it's rarely just about money or time already spent. It's about credibility, ego, and fear of losing authority. Here's the irony. Defending a bad decision usually does more damage to a leader's credibility than correcting it early ever would. Teams notice these things. Even when they don't say anything, they notice. They notice when new information gets ignored. They notice when dissent quietly disappears. They notice when protecting a decision becomes more important than solving the problem. I remember a situation early in my leadership career where I made a call that seemed right at the time. The reasoning was sound. The decision was defensible. And once it was made, I stood behind it publicly. But as time went on, small signals started to show up. Nothing dramatic, just enough to make me uncomfortable. People stopped pushing back the way they used to. Conversations moved to the hallway instead of the room. Workarounds started showing up where alignment should have been. I noticed it. And instead of pausing to reassess, I explained the decision again. I justified it. I told myself the team just needed more time. What I was really doing was protecting the decision instead of evaluating it. Eventually, someone I trusted pulled me aside and said something simple. This isn't working the way we thought it would. They weren't emotional. They weren't disrespectful. They were right. Changing course in that moment didn't weaken my authority the way I had feared. Waiting as long as I did almost did. That experience changed how I think about leadership decisions. Not as positions to defend, but as judgments that need to be revisited when reality starts pushing back. Strong leaders understand something counterintuitive. Changing your mind doesn't weaken authority. Refusing to change it often does. Course correction isn't indecision. It's responsiveness to reality. In complex environments, the goal isn't to always be right the first time. The goal is to recognize when conditions have changed and to act before the consequences do. Bad decisions rarely fail all at once. They fail slowly, quietly, and expensively. And leaders who learn to step back, reassess, and reverse course early don't just avoid damage, they earn trust.